Hello, Plain Donuts speaking. This is your co-host, Steve.
Hey guys. Hey Donut Holes, this is your co-host, Steve. Welcome to this week's episode of Plain Donuts. This one's the Fyrecon live episode. Enjoy the show. We did it!
All right, we did it. Yeah. Hey, I'll clap.
Yay! Welcome to the, oh man.
Plain Donuts live.
I know, it's
What?
Plain Donuts live. I'm going to turn down the gain a little bit.
Oh, what?
Because we're
Come on.
peeking.
I want some serious games.
Look at us
Come on.
peeking. Look, okay, that's better. Okay, because I'm like right by the mic. All right, well, anyway, welcome to the live edition of Plain Donuts. Some of you have heard of Plain Donuts before. Some of you have not.
Just to let you know, for those who are listening, there's like 50,000 people
It's
here.
so many.
We're actually recording in a stadium. So, yeah,
As you can
there
hear
go.
from all the echo,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot of echo because of the stadium,
Yeah.
not because there's not like bodies filling it or anything.
Oh, quiet down. Quiet, please.
We were able to get the entire audience to be silent
Yeah,
for
it was
5
really
seconds.
impressive.
Yeah.
It's actually a world record for largest group of people being quiet
That's
at
true.
one time.
It's very accurate. Oh, so anyway, I told you earlier I thought failure would be 0 audience members, so we made it. We
Yes.
succeeded. In case you're wondering, we're being a little bit sarcastic. We have 3 audience members, but they're great, and we're very excited. I know all of their names.
Although we met one,
We met Joseph.
and actually I met.
And then Corinne is here, who
Yeah.
has been on the podcast
Yeah,
before.
very exciting.
And her lovely husband, Kelly, who is telling us about other things. Corinne's upcoming
Projects.
press, yes. Which is that announced now? Or we're not
I
going
announced it in my newsletter.
Okay, you did. That's
It's only
right.
a thing.
I read the
You're
newsletter.
not gonna
You read
do
my
it,
newsletter.
announce it before she announces it herself. Like those
Yeah.
people that go on Facebook and be like, "Oh my gosh, congratulations on your pregnancy," when they haven't like announced it. Oh, those are the worst. Like, because you know that
Who
they
did that happen to? Oh, that happened to one of our, that's right.
happened
Yeah,
to
one of our
Cindy.
friends.
Both sets,
Oh,
her
yeah.
in-laws and her parents both posted on Facebook about it before they had announced it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So should we start like our regular
Regular thing.
podcasting?
We probably also should introduce ourselves too.
Oh, right. I am your co-host, Steve.
What's your
I've been
full
on this
name?
podcast for less than 1 year, as long as the podcast has existed.
Yeah.
My full name?
Yes.
Stephen Philip Matney.
Your middle name's Philip?
Yeah, it's a very English-sounding name,
Oh.
I think. Stephen Philip Matney.
Do you prefer Stefan?
Hello, I'm Stephen. Anyway,
Was that a Steven Universe? Like,
no.
Oh.
I can only do a Cockney accent if it's in that like high-pitched child voice. Otherwise, it doesn't
that
work
was
out.
so weird.
No, what's your name? Who are you?
Who am I?
Yes.
Who am I?
Yes.
My name is Alicia.
What's your full name?
Alicia Renee Regiga Paulson III, Esquire,
Don't-
PhD.
Did you know that Esquire? You don't have a PhD. I know that one's not true.
How do you know?
I just know. Anyway,
How do you know I'm not a lawyer?
because I know your job. If you were a lawyer, you would have been employed faster, probably.
Maybe I just
I don't
got
know.
tired of the lawyer world.
That's true. That's
This is
true.
my alternate life.
That was kind of like a sick burn a little bit. Sorry about that. On your previous unemployment.
Yeah, gosh, Steve. Now all of us can be making $100,000 a year.
Stop. I feel so embarrassed when you talk about how rich I am.
And he has a huge house.
Oh, jeez.
And he has like 5 million animals. And he can afford to feed all of
Yeah, I
them.
can afford to
He has
feed
like a
all 4
giant
of these
cobra,
tiny
and
animals.
also he employs Britney Spears on the DL.
I don't what? What? I like this fantasy that you've created for me. Speaking of Fyrecon, the fantasy
Yeah.
and science fiction writing and art convention that we're currently at.
We are. It is Saturday.
It is Saturday. It is 6:44 p.m. We started late because we had to wait for the rest of our audience to get here. They were late.
They were right on time.
Well, yes.
They
were.
came right on time.
We're wizards.
Yeah.
We always arrive exactly when we need to.
That's
There you
true. It's accurate. So how has your experience of Fyrecon been so far?
I have been here since like 3 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
So far so good.
Okay.
There's some cool art and stuff downstairs.
That's
and
true.
It's actually really interesting to learn about like the different like small publishers and things that are happening in Utah.
Yeah.
I don't like really interact with this world a lot. So it's cool just to like do something different and experience it. So I've had a pretty pleasant experience. It's been cool. So
Nice. You only interact with like the people who publish Anna Karenina and stuff like that?
Exactly. Leo Tolstoy has been dead for like 400 years.
Fine.
500?
Who publishes that now? Just people who publish classics? Who publishes classics? Anyone can? Can I publish Anna Karenina?
Is it in the public domain?
I don't know.
If it is,
We could have asked Joseph.
Like I know. Joseph's part of a publisher, a major
publishing
Salt Lake
for-
City publisher.
before 1925, right?
I think, well, yeah,
And I
if
think
Tolstoy's
that's
been dead for 400 years.
Just kidding. Yeah, it's not been 400 years. That was
Oh.
an exaggeration. It's probably been like 100 or 200 years.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I don't know when Tolstoy died. The only history I know is from when I can remember. Just kidding. Anyway, so for me, it's been the sexiest convention I've ever been to so far. I saw a butt. I saw one person's butt by mistake.
what? Can you provide some context for that?
Yeah, sure. So this convention is taking place in 2 buildings. There's D2 and D3, and it was windy on Thursday afternoon. So I was walking from D2 to D3 behind someone, and the wind picked up. They were wearing a dress, and I just saw a butt, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this I didn't know that was a real thing that could happen. Like, I didn't know wind could actually blow someone's skirt up. Like, I thought you had to stand over a grate or something
Oh
for
no,
that to happen.
it's real. And that's how I flashed everyone on the top of the Empire State Building.
What?
It's true. It's very windy on the top of the Empire State Building. So if you happen to be going there, don't wear a skirt or a dress because it will invert completely.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding. It was like I was struggling to like push it back down.
You're
and
like, oh, geez.
it was terrible. And this random dude, he gets out and he starts laughing hysterically and pointing at me. Like, ha 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 ha! Like, it was like that, like a machine gun type of laughter, like, pointed towards me. And I was like, oh, this is really weird.
Were you like contained at that point when
I
you
was like,
began?
kind of like put my, like, penguined my arms down to the side. But even then, like, it's still super windy, so people are getting all sorts of angles, I'm sure.
I want to make an animation of a penguin that's like
Wearing a dress
No.
on top of the Empire
Yeah.
State Building.
I want the animation to be this penguin like climbing up to the top of, I don't know why I thought of this. I'm sorry, you said penguin and I was like, remember that idea? Anyway,
What?
so the penguin is like climbing to the top of some kind of icy cliff, and then penguins can't fly. I don't know if you knew that, but at the top of the cliff, the penguin leaps off, and then I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly starts playing, and the penguin flies off into the distance, and that's the end of the animation. I feel like that would be a really good thing for somebody to make.
Get out there, internet. Start that process.
I know,
Steve.
seriously, get on it, guys. So that's been my Fyrecon experience so far. Other than that, I've been
A
running around.
completely unrelated experience.
My wife was like, were they wearing underwear? And I was like, I don't know. It must have been like the kind that the thong style or something, because I saw a whole butt. So as much of a butt as you can see is what I saw. So it was pretty, it was a very brief experience, luckily, but.
Is that pun intended? Zing.
Got him.
And
We
is
even
there
had
like
an
a-
audience for that joke this time. That was good. That was a really good one. Yeah, so it's been good. I've been running around with our flyers that we made trying to gain interest in this
look pretty
podcast.
cool.
I feel like there were a few things like working against us. We didn't have a guest, so Daniel Swenson, who's going to be on the podcast on Monday, was like, "You should have had a guest because then you."
And we're like, "You're right. You're gonna be our guest now, sucker."
I know. We're like,
and then
"Come
we
on!"
kidnapped him.
No, he had something he had to go to Like that would have been great
In
though.
quotes, go to.
It was some kind of
Just kidding. I'm making fun of
wifely
him,
responsibility.
and now he's gonna be on the podcast on Monday and feel awkward.
He
'cause
won't know.
Oh, that's true.
He won't know yet. We'll release the mockery after we release his
Perfect.
episode, so it'll be perfectly in line. Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. The other thing is that we weren't scheduled at a time that was in line with everything else because I told them we needed time to set up, and they're like, "Okay, you got time, but now you're in the middle of everything." So, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of hot in this room. Do you feel heated?
I actually feel at a perfect temperature.
Okay, maybe it's
That's
just
another Fyrecon experience.
I know.
can chuck up. Temperature 71 degrees, feeling fine.
Kind of ironic, right? Because it should be hot here for the fire, all the
Fyrecon.
fire that's happening.
3,000 degrees. Ah, we're actually in hell. It's too hot.
I know, if that baby would
Fyrecon.
cry from the
Oh
from
yeah,
the
there was a
hallway.
baby crying down the hall, and it was really eerie sounding because of the echo. So I was like, it's kind of
Alicia
far
was
away.
like, "We're doing our podcast from hell."
From hell. So
I'm like, hell for you is one baby crying down the hallway. Like,
okay, but listen, the baby doesn't stop crying ever. That's pretty bad.
I mean,
And you can't soothe the baby because it's too far away.
soothe. You mean
Soothe.
right? Not sue.
Yeah, I
you
said
can't-
soothe.
I know. I just heard you incorrectly. I was like, "You want to sue a baby?"
I demand.
I demand retribution. This has cost me a lot of emotional distress.
Can you sue a baby?
I don't think you can. I mean, I think you
The
can.
baby would not know what's happening to it.
Right.
So you technically could not bring a lawsuit against it. Just kidding, I already knew that because I'm a lawyer.
I don't think you're a lawyer. Yeah. So anyway, I don't have anything else to say about Fyrecon except it's been a fun
It's been
experience
fun.
so far.
Yeah, it's cool. I wish I had more time because I was working during the week, so I didn't have time to swing by Fyrecon.
I got to go into the green room. Oh man! So this is a particularly like author sent.
Do you hear that?
That
Is
was
it picking
that
it up?
was the hell child. I probably picked it up. I'm not going to stop the recording and see if we can hear it, but
Just like amplify it right now.
just at 12 minutes,
Yeah.
just cut it in for the
Yeah.
for the listeners later. See, there really was a baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I got to go in the green room, and so this is like a very author-centric convention. A lot of the people in there have published works, or at least have like finished books that they're working on writing. So like, I was in there like, yeah, I have a podcast. I'm eating some snacks in the green room, but I like totally did not feel like I should have been there, and I feel like everybody knew it. This is the first time I've really ever experienced genuine imposter syndrome where I'm like, I do not belong here. So, anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
I like being in the green room. In fact, I didn't know I could go in. I was like, I didn't even think about it. And I was like looking around. We're in a college, so there's like a little store area. And I was looking around at the different drinks and stuff, and Corinne was like, I was eating Oreos, and I was like, where'd you get Oreos? And she's like, the green room. And I was like, what? So,
Amazing.
yeah, so
It's like
I've-
being a celebrity.
yeah, like a very, very
On
minor
set.
celebrity. Which is fitting
Yeah.
for how popular we are with Lin-Manuel on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I have pin Manuel
know.
Miranda with me, my Lin-Manuel Miranda pin. So
What? Say his name again.
pin Manuel Miranda.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a great pin. I
Yeah.
really like it.
Steve got me this pin, so it's like one of my favorite gifts I've ever received, actually. So
Okay.
thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. It was funny because my wife made me do it. She was like, "You have to buy this for Alicia," and I was like, "You're right, I do."
All right, thanks, Melissa.
I wouldn't even have thought of it. I would have just been like, haha, Lin-Manuel Miranda on a pin. All right, see you later, like. So, I wanted to do my introduction for you because I assumed we would have a room full of people that didn't know who you were. So I was gonna like do this. Well, I had this whole plan where I'd be like, Alicia, stand outside the room, and I'll like give you this introduction. Then you walk in to all this cheering. We can cheer if you guys want to, but I just wrote the greatest.
Should we have
Do you
done
want to
that?
stand outside
I'll
the
do
room?
that,
Okay,
yeah, all right.
we'll wait for you.
We have the live audience, so might as well just.
We might as well
that.
do it. Later, you can do your introduction for me, okay?
I don't have them. It's everybody's dad. It's Steve.
It's everybody's dad. What a wonderful moniker. Okay, so, what was it? She is... What was it? That's not how an introduction starts. Stay out there. Hold on. It was the Queen of Queens, the Maiden of Manhattan, the Wicked Witch of the West Indies, the co-host with the mo-host, Alicia Rajiga Paulson. I did it. I made it all the way through.
That was cool. That's good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I wrote that down like 3 weeks ago.
I remember you sent it to me. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then I didn't look at it again after.
I just get to be everybody's dad.
Everybody's dad. It's Steve.
I did try to. So I was at a convention for work at the first half of this week. This has been a crazy week.
It's
but
convention week.
yeah, so I was at a convention for work, and my boss was there, like my direct boss, and we were eating something at dinner. He brought his girlfriend, so they had a meal or whatever, and I can't remember what we were trying to figure out, but like. He's a little bit older than me and actually looks probably younger than me. That dude has a weird
Got that
physical
Benjamin Button
appearance.
sort of
Yeah,
situation.
he's like, oh yeah, I'm 38, and I'm like, you're what? I thought you were younger than me this whole time. I'm 30. We'll be 33 this year, just for context. But yeah. So anyway, they were like, we were finishing up a meal or something and trying to figure it out, and or trying to figure out like where we were going or whatever. And I like was talking to them like, do you need this thing? What about this? Have you thought of that? And I'm like, you guys have figured this out already. I just tried to dad you. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you're right. I do that. I dad people. I can't help it. But I don't even have kids.
Dab?
I dab people too. Like,
oh, you did dab. Remember?
I did dab, yeah, at Chili's one time.
And the server really laughed, yeah.
I don't know if he was laughing out of like, wow, that's a funny thing to do right now, or if he was just like, don't patronize me because I'm young.
Yeah.
But
I think it was a combination of both.
It was kind of
funny.
Yeah. I was like, listen, you might be a millennial. I don't know, but I'm definitely a millennial on a certain scale, depending on who you ask. I definitely do fit in. So I was like, I'm a dabber too.
Yeah. I think you said thanks and then you dabbed and then he was like, and like,
no. It was, he's like, whose meal is this, right? They were handing it out and I was like, oh. Yeah, that was the whole dab thing.
Yeah.
Joseph was a high school teacher.
He was, so I'm sure he had to.
Did you ever dab for your students?
No, I left them with dirty faces.
30 faces?
Dirty faces.
Oh. I was like, is this some kind
the man of
Game
30
of Thrones
faces.
reference?
I was like, wow.
I left them with 30 faces.
So epic.
They couldn't understand me either.
Oh man, so you left your high school students just like frowning at them?
But no. Dabbing,
dirty faces.
Dabbing their faces?
Oh, I see. Okay.
That was such a weird, like, lost in translation moment, right? That happened right
dabbing is that one dance move.
Oh yes, I was thinking about cleaning people's faces with like the edges of a napkin or something.
Oh man, we'll teach you about dabbing later.
You've like licked first.
That's a dab thing.
Everybody's
right?
dab.
Everybody's dab. It's a good name. Well, cool. We made it. We made it all the way to the point where the conversation stops and we have to go to the next piece.
Hooray.
So, we normally take questions from our massive audience about a topic, and everybody here has been at Fyrecon, so I figured we could talk about Fyrecon. But I think everybody here also has a sticker already. We had this ploy to where if people asked questions or made comments or whatever for us to BS about, we would give them a sticker. But we already gave you stickers, so now you just have to participate out of obligation. So tell us how's your Fyrecon been? What do you have questions for us about our really expert opinions on Fyrecon?
I have a convention-related question.
Yes, sure.
sure.
Absolutely. That's a better broadly in convention.
I'd like you to cast your minds into the future.
Okay.
Okay.
And in this soon, very near future, you have just so many rabid fans that you need a convention especially for fans of plain donuts.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay.
So what would you call that?
Okay. So just to
DonCon. I already know what I want.
DonCon?
DonCon.
DonCon.
Yeah, like donut, but
Oh,
like DonCon.
You're really good at this. So I wanted to recap the question quickly because I'm not sure if everyone will be
that's
able to
true.
hear. They probably will, and I'll listen back and be like, don't repeat, Steve, there's no reason to. But anyway, so Corinne said, in the very near future when we have a bazillion rabid fans and we have a specific convention just for plain donuts, what would we call the convention? And Alicia said DonCon already.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know.
Call it DabCon, wouldn't you?
No, DadCon. DadCon. There should be a DadCon already. Can you imagine how great that would be? Like, because you would have people like Harry's Razors would be there, but then also Dollar Shave Club, and they would have to be like across the vendor thing from each other, and like all the dad stuff. They'd have grills and that kind of thing.
Grills?
DadCon is such a great idea.
Grills and like lawnmowers you can ride around on like a track.
Somebody call up Hank Green. That guy puts on a lot of conventions.
DadCon.
You don't want it to get confused with DaddyCon.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh
is that
yeah.
a thing?
Thing. Oh, I don't know.
Daddy,
Let's assume.
Let's assume that is a thing, and we'll stay very far.
Daddy
away.
Con?
Oh, far away from that.
Oh man, is there also like a baby con? I'm sure there are like mom cons and stuff. There have to be because like
There's MomCon. It's called What a Woman Wants Expo, and it's twice a year.
What a Woman Wants Expo is at the Southtown Expo Center.
It is.
And every expo is at the Southtown Expo Center.
It sure is. Just like that gem fair. Have you ever been to the gem fair, actually?
No.
It's off the hook. It's cool. I like the gem fair. They got gems.
Okay, so
and pearls, which I don't know if they're technically gems, but I like to count them as gems.
I like magical gems in fantasy novels. That's about all I know about gems.
Yeah.
In fact, when I asked my wife to marry her, I went to Shane Company and I was like, I don't know.
On the corner of State Street.
Yeah. Right across the street from where Hooters used to be before it went out of business, which is weird because, anyway, I've never been to Hooters before. I heard they have good fried foods. Actually, that's a joke between...
I'm shrugging right now.
Oh. There's a joke between me and my wife, actually, because every time we've ever been to Applebee's, it's been terrible. Never have had a good eating experience at Applebee's. But outside of that relationship, I had decent experiences at Applebee's with friends and stuff because we would go during the half-price appetizer thing. So I'm like, oh.
Appetizer?
Yeah, appetizers. Did they ever call them that?
No.
You're really good at this.
Oh, thanks.
So anyway, we would go because we were poor, and I figured out that their fried food is probably okay, actually. But like, one time my wife even ordered a steak there. Like, you can't do a steak wrong, right? Like,
Yeah.
the steak is always going to be good, but they came out and it tasted like fish. And I was like, they must have grilled it right after some fish or something.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah, it was kind of gross. So anyway, real good plug for Applebee's, sponsored by Applebee's. Eat their fried
Shane
foods.
Co.
Yeah, and the Shane Company. Oh, I was telling the story about the Shane Company. So when I asked my wife to marry me, I went to the Shane Company to get a ring. And they were like, actually, what you can do is get this like temp ring, this temporary ring that's just a little band with like a tiny diamond in it or whatever. And then with the intention that you're going to come back and get the real thing later because you don't know what she actually wants. So I did that because I don't know anything about gems. Later I bought her a different ring because I knew that the ring we had when we got married was just like kind of a cheapy little thing because we were real poor when we got married, and I had a job where I got bonuses with some frequency, and so I wasn't paid well, but I did get bonuses. So I got a bonus one time and I was like, I'm going to buy my wife a new wedding ring. And this is a good pat yourself on the back story. So I also, that year she was like, I think I want a new vacuum or a new carpet cleaner for Christmas. And I was like, that's really weird because like most women would not want those things for Christmas. They'd be like, that's a terrible
I actually
gift.
asked for that for Christmas, and
Yeah.
Mama got me like a fancy Dyson. And I was
Nice.
more excited. It was purple, and it has like a little rotating thing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to be able to vacuum those cobwebs up in the corners. So good.
Nice.
So stoked. We're not sponsored by Dyson.
We should be,
we
though.
should
They
be.
should sponsor this podcast. Based on our massive audience. So I went to Sears. Maybe I got it from Sears. I don't know. I got both a vacuum and a carpet cleaner, and I like played it like, oh, I got you the greatest gift. You're gonna love it so much, which I did, right? But she had just assumed that the goodness of the gift was in the fact that she was getting both of what she wanted. So I gave her the wedding ring on Christmas morning, and she'll never tell you this, but she cried. I picked it out myself, and by that point I knew what she would like, and so I was a little nervous about it, but I did it, and she liked it.
Isn't that cute?
We did it. We're married now. For almost 10 years. Yeah, we weren't before she got the real wedding ring. No, we were still.
Shacking up, huh, Steve?
It's true. So, okay, so hold on. I haven't even thought about what convention I would call the Plain Donuts convention. DonCon is really good, except people might get confused. We could call it Plain DonCon.
Plain Don.
Plain Donuts.
PattyCon.
PattyCon. Oh man, it's hard. Corinne, don't ask these questions because this is the kind of stuff where I'm like, I have to think of a really good name now. And
because you're committed. Whatever you say now.
I know, it's right.
Oh my gosh, and we were actually talking earlier when we were in like the little artist alley section about, what if we got so famous that people started like writing fan fiction about us and like shipping us together? Like, how weird would that be?
That would be really weird.
It would be so weird.
Well, and like I feel like we've explained multiple times on the podcast that we both have spouses. In fact, one recently we talked about this. We both have separate spouses from one another, right? And we're not in any kind of romantic relationship.
Any type of relationship.
But I think people just think that automatically. I used to think the people on KSL News in the morning.
Oh, I remember thinking that too.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, like, oh, two adults that are grown up. They're sitting together. They must be married.
Yeah,
because that's what people do.
Exactly. I think you just naturally go, oh, they might be married. They sound like they could be married.
Yeah.
I don't want to be married to you, Alicia.
I'd be the best wife. Whatever, Steve.
I don't know.
I bought you Chick-fil-A.
You did bring me Chick-fil-A. I appreciate that. You're right. That's a big seller, I guess. I don't know. I've seen the way you treat Otto. I'm just kidding. Wow, that was really awkward, but not intentionally. That was just a joke. I'm so sorry. I wasn't real.
Gotta bring up our marital problems? I'm just kidding.
In the middle of the podcast.
Podcast with our audience.
Okay, so I used to follow, I still do, but for a while I was following a lot of comedians on Twitter and looking for other comedians to follow on Twitter. And there was this weird couple that was always corresponding to each other on Twitter, but a whole bunch of comedians followed both of them, and they interacted with other comedians, but they were horrible to each other on Twitter. Wow. And I was like, is this I still don't know to this day. I'm sorry, this story has no resolution. But I was like, is this a performance art where they're just
like a parody sort of
I hate you so much, I'm definitely leaving you when you get home, and they'd respond why don't you leave before I get home? I don't know if I don't think that was a real interaction, but it was really weird. Whoa. And I have thought about it for years.
Should I start slamming you on Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. I love to get in beefs on Twitter. Yeah. Not really.
I like to get abuse from flat earthers.
Yo, man. I did get abused by flat earthers. And it was so weird because, by the end, one person was like, how could you mock someone for the things they think? You obviously haven't thought through this issue. And I was like, I haven't considered whether maybe the earth really is flat. You're accusing me of intellectual irresponsibility because I haven't thought through this problem. Yeah. I'm like, why would I think that? Why would anyone perpetuate that the earth was round if it were flat? You're gonna get me ranting about flat
there we
earth.
go.
But the thing is once you ask that question, we've probably talked about this before, once you get to the end of the argument about flat earth, it just devolves into complete conspiracy theory, because you go, well, why is anyone perpetuating this lie? Why does NASA exist? Oh, well, it's a secret embezzlement. It's an $80,000 people hiring $80,000. Can you imagine if NASA only had 80 grand? No, they hire 80,000 people, and it's like $6 billion or something of a budget, and I'm like, where is the embezzlement? Because if the government is literally tricking all of us and the 80,000 people that work for NASA just to embezzle money, who's getting it, right? Where's all this money going? Secondly, like, why? And the problem is like, because it's not just the U.S. government that's perpetuating the myth of the round earth. It's everyone.
Yeah.
All the governments are doing it. And when you get to that question, most flat earthers are like, it's power, man. It's so they can have power over us. And I'm like, what? What kind of power are they exerting on us from all of us believing that the earth is round? I don't understand. I don't feel oppressed because I believe in a globular earth.
Globular.
Yeah, I know. It's globe-shaped.
Glob. It's funny. It's a funny word.
You're right, it is. Anyway, so now I'm going to get attacked by flat earthers on Twitter again. Actually, I got in a minor beef with somebody from work on Twitter because this person, for some reason, likes to, like, complain into the ether. But have you ever heard of subtweeting? Do you know what subtweeting is? It's where basically it's where you complain about something or someone and you don't mention them in it, and
you don't at them.
Yeah,
so you're just being petty.
Well, right. You don't at them, and you don't mention them by name, right? Because you could just be like, "Well, Steve said," without adding me, and it doesn't. That's not technically subtweeting. But anyway, so he likes to just complain about work on Twitter for some reason, and I'm like, this is kind of unprofessional for you being a person who's very well respected in our community or whatever. Awkward. But anyway, we had something at work where I was like, well, we just have to go through this process in order to get this to happen, but great, let's just do that, right? And he went on Twitter, and I guess it had happened multiple times that day when somebody said like, oh, we need to do this through the right process. And he's like, I'm tired of people using process to avoid doing work. And I was like, dude, please don't subtweet me. Also, we're not avoiding doing work. I was like, don't do this to me, dog. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. I'm very aggressive. I'm not really very aggressive. But so we had a little conversation on Twitter, and then he like messaged me and he's like, I'm sorry, I haven't slept much recently because of a new baby. And I was like,
don't put an excuse on a baby. It doesn't know what it's doing. Want to know why? My friend is a lawyer. She knows you can't sue a baby.
I should have just said, I'm tired of people excusing their bad behavior because of babies.
Yeah. Or you can also say, just put it outside.
Just put it outside.
Put the baby out, just being loud, just put it outside.
You're right. That's a really good solution.
And then they're like, just watch their heads.
Hello, boys and girls. Hello, my D-hole friends. Hey, this is, again, your co-host, Steve here. Just back to interrupt the middle of the episode, our first live episode ever at Fyrecon. The reason we're producing this one this week is because it's Alicia's birthday, so don't forget to hit her up and tell her happy birthday. If you haven't heard this podcast before, you may have not heard that you can find all of the episodes and more information about our social media and sometimes other information, like we announced this particular episode, the live recording of it, on our website, yourplaindonuts.com. So that's yourplaindonuts.com. I mentioned our social media that you can find there. We have, all the things: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I think that's it. That's probably not all the things, but that's all the things we have. We always announce when we're taking questions on Facebook and Twitter. And if you answer with your questions or your anecdotes or your comments through our official Plain Donuts channels, that is the Plain Donuts Facebook and Twitter at Your Plain Donuts. If you answer us there, you're much more likely to get your stuff answered on the episode because we favor answering through the official Plain Donuts channels. That's the reason. We're just prejudiced that way. So anyway, like I said, go to yourplaindonuts.com. That's YOUR plaindonuts.com. Find all of our social media links. Follow us in all the places. Also, if I could ask you to do one favor, you can also see links from each episode to iTunes. And if you could leave us a rating and a review on iTunes, that's like super helpful. Mostly it's super helpful just to get us noticed by Apple, who would then potentially put us in the new and noteworthy section, which would get us a lot of new listeners, at least for as long as we were in that section. And hopefully they'd stick around because they like the show as well. So, lastly, the thing that I always ask and that I will continue asking just because it's the biggest favor you could do. And if you like the show and you think somebody else might like the show, it's a great favor you could do for them too. And that thing is to show the show to a friend that might like the show. I kind of led into that one pretty obviously. But anyway, if you would do that, share this show with a friend that you think might like it. That's the best way for us to grow. We don't really advertise much. Sometimes we pay like $5 to Facebook so they'll actually show our posts to the people who follow the page. But other than that, we really don't do any advertising at all. So the way we grow is by you telling your friends that this show is good. So we would love for you to continue to do that. I know a bunch of you already have, and we're super grateful. You guys are fantastic listeners. I very much appreciate you. I love you so much. I'm going to now leave you alone to enjoy the rest of this live episode from Fyrecon. Thanks very much. All right, enjoy the rest of the show. Okay, so I don't know. DonCon. Let's go with DonCon. I really feel like it sounds like it's from The Godfather or something like that. I had to imagine the logo of The Godfather before I could remember what the movie
like
was
the
called.
little.
Yeah, but I imagined it as a gun. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, like it sounds like DonCon.
DonCon.
Do you want to hear a funny story about The Godfather?
No.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about then?
Okay, I'll bite.
So when I had my wisdom teeth out, this is very Steve-centric right now. Sorry, everybody. When I had my wisdom teeth out, they put you under, right? And this is before YouTube, luckily, but like they put you under and then you start coming out when they're done. And I had all this gauze coming out of my mouth. And for some reason, like I thought of it as like a really like in this stupor, like some kind of just distinguished goatee, and so I started talking to mom, like my mom, like, what are you doing, mom? You know, like,
being weird.
And like I thought I was acting just like The Godfather, though I've never seen the movie and I don't know how people. But she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm The Godfather," and she's like, "What?"
Do you know any Godfather quotes?
No, none.
Oh.
Something about a horse head.
Come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Just do that the whole time.
That's what I was doing. Yeah, so
And you gotta like close your eyes. Just like
you have to close. I'm sure my eyes were mostly closed
Yeah.
anyway. My sister, she got her wisdom teeth out at the same time, but she was like really freaked out. And so they gave her, I can't remember what it is, but it's this medicine to help you relax before you go into surgery. They're like, take this a half an hour before you come. So
Oh, like a Valium probably.
yeah, something like that. But she took it, and then we went to Blockbuster Video because we were like, we're gonna be down for a couple days anyway.
Yeah.
So we got to watch all these movies. So I was walking around just picking out whatever, and then I like turned a corner at Blockbuster, and there was my sister laying on the floor, laughing hysterically with a copy of Mariah Carey's Glitter in her hand. And I was like, "Do you want this movie? What are you doing?" And she just was like so high off this Valium.
Wow,
So I was like,
weird.
"Mom, we gotta get this girl in a car and get going." Man, that was really funny. She'll love that I told that story. Do you have any good Mariah Carey glitter
I
stories?
don't. I do have a good wisdom teeth story though.
Okay, cool.
So, and I took Valium before I went and got LASIK surgery. But it didn't have that effect on me at all. It kind of just shut like my body down to reacting to how my emotions were feeling in my brain. So when they were trying to laser my eyeball, I was like, this is like, why is anyone doing this? This is stupid. Like, what kind of science is this? Like, this doesn't even make sense. But my body was just like, oh, well, too bad. You're not going to be able to run away. So my anxiety was real in here, in my head. But
so you were, like, stuck in your body.
yeah, it was awful.
Man, that's
terrible,
crazy. And this is when you had your eyes LASIK?
Yeah, but when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, my dad left the doctor's office, and when I woke up, nobody was there to like pick me up, and I thought my family had left me. And when you're like on the wisdom teeth like high, you're coming down, like everything is so heightened, like your emotions and just everything. And I was like sobbing and crying, and I was telling the nurse like, who's gonna love me? Like, who's gonna pick me up? She's like, shh, like, trying to go to sleep.
Can you imagine being one of those nurses? Like, and people are taking videos, oh, this is gonna go viral on YouTube, but the nurses are like, no, literally everybody does this. Like,
yeah. Although a coworker of mine, she did go viral, like severe, like 22 million or something back in the day, but she got her wisdom teeth pulled, her and her sister at the same time, and so they're both like crying in the car and screaming, and it's weird. It's a weird video.
That sounds amazing.
But
can we watch that now instead of doing a podcast?
No.
Okay.
But so my dad eventually comes back because he went and got my like antibiotics and stuff, and I'm like, Dad, you came back for me. He's like, whatever, like let's leave. And so we're going. They tried to take me like right away after the surgery to go in the car, which was stupid. So I have a nurse on one side and my dad on the other side of me, and they're kind of like holding my arms as we're walking down the hall. And I have like this really weird, what's that movie? The crazy movie where they all do heroin.
Mariah Carey's Glitter?
Yes.
I don't think they do heroin in Glitter, I'm pretty sure. Are you talking about Trainspotting?
Something, yeah. But I was walking down, everything was in slow motion, and I turned and I saw a picture of a potted flower, and I'm like, that is beautiful. And then my vision cut out like that, and my dad described it as I just fell forward to the floor.
No.
They were like holding me from the back, so I kind of just like slipped out of their arm. So they take me back in the room.
Were you like
yeah,
like
it was like
body?
Yeah.
You didn't die?
No, I lived.
Okay. So, you could have like had a near-death experience.
Something. It was really weird, and then I woke up back in like my same bed area, and the nurse was there, and my dad was gone again. I was like, for sure. This time for sure he's gone forever.
Nobody loves me.
Nobody
left. Sure
he left me on the floor, and yeah, so. And then my grandma decided to surprise me that week that I got my wisdom teeth pulled.
Okay.
And I cried a lot. I was like, Grandma, you would not believe this experience.
Wait, so when did your grandma show up after like the meds had worn off?
She showed up like, so, they tried to take me out. I passed out. They brought me back. They then took me out like an hour later to the car. And then they just drove me up. Like, my dentist was, like, right down the street. So they just took me back to the house. And she was at the house. So it was, like, maybe an hour and a half later. It was not that long. And so I was like, Grandma. And, my mouth is full. So I was like, ha, ha. She's like, oh, hi, Alicia. It's good to see you. And I'm like, Grandma, help me.
No one loves me.
No one loves me. You're going to leave me just like the rest of them.
Does your grandma have an accent like that lady that your friend sent you a video of on Facebook? You remember this? I can't. What's the name of your culture?
Oh, this is my other.
Oh,
my white grandma.
So she doesn't have an accent.
Yeah,
like
she does not have an accent. Yeah. It says it's my third grandma. I have 3 grandmas because my mom was adopted.
Oh.
Then she found her birth mom, so she's my young grandma.
Wait, the birth mother is the younger one.
Yeah,
right.
She's young grandma, and then I have like other grandma, and then I have brown grandma.
And that's how you refer to them?
That's how I refer to them.
Brown grandma!
Brown grandma, yeah.
Do you have any cookies, brown grandma? Please stop calling me brown grandma.
And she wouldn't have cookies. She'd have black cake.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Cool. Literally, I never can remember what the culture is called.
It's Guyanese, yeah.
Guyanese. Okay, cool. Nice. What other kinds of foods are Guyanese? Is black cake
Black cake
specifically
is like,
Guyanese?
it's like a rum-soaked cake, and it's black, and they're very creative, so, like, it's black cake. So,
Yeah, so-
like, great, yeah.
Are you basically classifying your entire culture as not creative?
A little bit.
That's racist. Anyway.
But there's, like, I'm trying to think, there's, like, currantine shrimp and roti, there's, like, salseo, there's plantains, which I don't eat. There's, like...
Wait, why you have to throw that in there? I don't eat plantains.
Because I'm allergic to them.
Oh, right, bananas. I forgot.
So they're, like, in the same
Oh,
family.
all those donuts have, like, tons of bananas in them, by the way.
I eat it some of the time.
Just kidding.
Well, we did joke about one of them was poison.
We did joke about that, and we joked that the poison was, like, kind of a mild histamine.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, they smell so good. I can't, like, leave the table to go get a donut, but I keep smelling them. By the way, for those who aren't here, we have donuts.
Yeah.
So be
So you
jealous.
should have been here.
Yeah, you should have been here. It was only $25 for a day pass to this convention. You could have come and learned about writing and art and fantasy and science fiction, but instead you
All
probably
that
just
stuff.
did yard work or something.
Yeah, lame.
Really lame. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
This thing is supposed to end at 7:20, I think, which is right now.
Yeah.
But the podcast episode is only 42 minutes long, which is pretty short for one of our podcasts.
That's true.
What should we do? I don't know. I don't know. We could go till 7:30. That's probably acceptable.
Yeah.
I think at some point the con people are going to come in here and be like,
Get
why are you
here."
still talking?
Yeah.
Because nobody showed up at the time you put us down on. No, just kidding. Joseph did.
Joseph did. Joseph Maprosif. Hey.
You got an ovation, my man. That's great.
Yeah. Go check out his stuff.
Yeah, Widow Publishing.
Widow Publishing, yeah.
WIDO.
Yeah.
And it has the crossbar over the O, so
Yeah.
you know how to
So
say
you know
it.
it's not Wido.
That's
like,
right.
why that publishing, bro?
Why? Wido?
Widow. Yeah. It's Widow.
We produce books. Wido.
Wido.
That's what we said. It's for money.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Corinne is with Immortal Works.
Yes.
correct?
Well,
Yes.
Don's Hill. So we can go through the whole
yeah.
audience if we want. Don's Hill was a book about which we interviewed Corinne. Wow, that was a
That
reverse
sentence was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to diagram that in my mind. It's like all weird.
It was grammatically correct. I promise. Don't question that. No, I'm just kidding. So Don's Hill was published through Immortal Works, and they are here at this convention. Corinne was manning their table. She works still as an acquisitions editor for Immortal Works. So if you have a book, definitely send it to her. I'm sure she would love to hear about it.
And she's nodding, yes. She would love to hear about it. And check out her book, too.
Yeah, check out Don's
Little
Hill.
cozy
It's really
mystery.
good. It's better than any book I've ever read. It's a really good book.
Don't oversell it.
You're right. My sister really loves it, though. She's like, I really couldn't put it down. I love that book. She's
It's really
like, it was
cute.
so scary.
Is it weird to call it cute? It was cute. And it has one of my favorite, ladies be shopping. It's one of my favorite lines. I was like, this is such a good line. So funny.
But Corinne also is starting her own very small press, very small for the moment. I was asking Kelly earlier about the plan, the goals for Twisted Tree, and he's like, I don't know how big she wants it to be. Big. Small, I don't know. But you could tell us if you want. But it's called Twisted Tree, and it's going to be really cool. Really cool. How many books do you have coming out on your press right now? Two. So your short story anthology, right?
Yes, so, well, I guess 3. So my short story collection on stories based on Basque folklore is coming out in July. My new novel is coming out in September. And then
What's it called? Does it have a title yet?
It does, but I'm holding back on the cover release and the title review. It's all a big marketing.
Oh,
You
okay.
drop them at certain.
Oh, I
Specified
I see.
points.
You're just trying to trick people into buying your book. I get it. Just joking.
And then I'm also going to be the publisher for the Horror Writers Association's next anthology.
Oh, cool.
Hunger, that'll be out in 2018.
Man, that's a big bite right out the gate. It's good.
Touched it.
Kelly's going to be doing some cover designs, mostly photo manipulation, is what he said earlier. So anyway, that's the whole audience.
Yeah. Hey, and you could be part of our audience too, and we could have introduced you, but you didn't show up.
I know. Let's not attack our
I'm
listeners
sorry.
anymore, okay? Jeez, come on. They're listening. What more do you want?
They're gonna go rate us like 1 star on
know.
iTunes. That girl podcaster is a real jerk. Her marriage is falling apart, I bet.
That's terrible. Man, I would not suggest that in a review. I don't know, this book was pretty good, but I think this guy might hate his wife, actually.
That'd be rated the most helpful review, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure on Amazon people would be like, yeah.
people- Also, the shipping was bad. 0 stars.
0 stars. I wish you could rate 0 stars on it. I wonder how many things, how much that would skew their like rating system
it'd
if
be
you
crazy.
could rate things 0 stars. I don't know. I don't know how any of those algorithms work, but I want to know. Actually, it's probably just an averaging algorithm. Just adds them all up and divides them. It's not that hard.
You tell him, Steve.
Oh, okay. Amazon, I'm sure Amazon knows what's going on with their algorithm system. They have people much more qualified than me involved in figuring that stuff out. Because at a certain point, like if you have too many reviews, like that band Too Many Zoos. Just kidding.
That band is fire.
I know that was a dumb pull. Anyway, if you have too many reviews, it becomes non-performant to dynamically rate all the time. But it'd be really easy to just put that as a process that only happens when a rating happens, and then you're not doing it every time a request comes through. Man, I just went
Man, you
off.
said a lot of words,
Sorry.
and I was like,
Just went real jargony there
face
for a
was like,
second.
I don't know what's happening.
Sometimes you just gotta drop the hammer and show how much you know. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. I don't believe that.
You want a law fact?
Yes, I do want a law facts. Tell me some more law
You want
facts.
a law fact? Okay, so technically, you
How much law do you know?
enough
Are
to
you a
get
lawyer?
pass the bar exam.
Do you have to, when you give law advice on Reddit, do you always write IANA?
Hi everyone, lawyer here. So I introduced myself.
Just in person. Hi, lawyer.
Hi, lawyer.
Alicia.
So if you are walking onto a property and you see a no trespassing sign, would you turn around? Would you be like, oh, I can't go over here?
I don't know. It depends on where the sign was, and like if it was obvious that where I was walking was part of the property on which the no trespassing
Yeah.
sign says. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or if I
Plus-
really had to go somewhere, or if they like stole some money from me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, who cares? I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
so that's part of it. So if you don't have like at least minimum of 3 no trespassing signs at like various stages of your property, and they're not clearly posted, and like your like barriers are clearly like marked for this is where you're not supposed to go, then people can technically go onto that property because it's not like marked visibly enough, and it's just you can go on it. So you can't get in trouble for trespassing if it's not marked and like clearly meant to be like don't come over here. So there you go.
That fact made a baby cry.
Yeah, it's a baby from hell.
The hell baby's back. You're right, it never stops.
So there you go.
So just go wherever you want, willy nilly.
Yeah, well,
I can
if
just
you-
like go in someone's
Yeah, well,
house. And be
someone
like, you didn't
has-
have the signs posted, bro. Sorry. You have any
Also,
hamburgers or?
Those signs that you see in front of places like that says like 15-minute parking, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are actually not enforced at all. Like unless it's posted by the city.
Yeah.
Then it's like posted by a business. Then it's not enforceable.
How
by
do you tell the
city.
difference?
It should have a code on the back.
Let me check the code on this
There really
sign.
is. There's like a little like municipal code on the back of the signs.
Oh, okay.
See?
I don't see municipal-
Lawyered!
I don't see a municipal code on the sign. What if you got a ticket for that, and then you're like, I didn't see a municipal code on the sign, so I thought it wasn't legit.
You have the right to face your accuser. And
that is a right that you have.
And then you can be like, yo, where's the municipal code at? Who's the ticketing officer that ticketed me? And then do they have enough proof?
You know what's funny? I heard, and this is probably not very true. You tell me, you're the lawyer.
I'm the lawyer.
But I heard that most of the time, if you go like to really, what's the word when you fight a ticket? What's it called technically?
Court?
Dispute. When you go to dispute a ticket, like if you go to a court and you're like, I should not have had this ticket, they legally have to have the ticketing officer there. So not in your like initial hearing, but when you actually want to go to court to dispute it. And if the officer, a lot of times, this is what I heard. Don't take my word for it because you might go to jail. But I don't know. They usually don't take people to jail for tickets. Wow, that was a badly spoken sentence. And also the next one. So
do you have a sentence plan that you want to like speak badly?
A badly spoken sentence that I just have a plan to speak poorly? No, I do not. Anyway, so I heard that if the officer doesn't show up, they just dismiss the ticket and you're like done. Yeah.
I know people have gotten out of that because of those traffic cameras. Like they were taking pictures and like ticketing people. I'm like, I can't face my accuser because it's a robot.
Oh right,
and then at the beginning they're like, oh crap, you're right. And then they like wrote another like thing. That
they got us on the Constitution.
But a lot of the times judges can just be like, before you even like go to court, when you're just like coming in, they can be like, just pay it, man.
Yeah, I had that happen. I really wanted to fight a ticket I got because I was driving down. I don't know if you know 9th South in Salt Lake. You do, I'm sure, but like I don't know who's listening that may or may not know 9th South. But I was driving down the downhill route toward the west, and there were police that had stopped a car like in front of me. And it seemed like they were stopping every car, but I didn't really gather that because there was a person at a crosswalk, so I stopped for them so they could cross the street, and then I went through the crosswalk, and I got pulled over, and the officer was like, before you stopped for that pedestrian, do you know how fast you were going? And I was like, no, obviously not fast enough to not be able to stop for a pedestrian. So they gave me a ticket anyway, and then I went to court and I was like trying to argue with the judge, and they're like, you have to have evidence or something. You have to be able to make a case, and I was like, but I stopped for the people, and they're like, it doesn't matter. This is traffic court, like that. Your intention doesn't matter at all, and whatever. And I'm pretty sure I was just going whatever speed the car in front of me was going, but city's got to make money somehow.
Make money.
Oh man, I don't really believe that much in government is a money grab, but I kind of feel like Utah's decision to lower the blood alcohol percentage thing. I feel like that's kind of a money grab. I don't know why. Man, that was very local. That was a very local opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
submit that to the editor, Steve.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that opinion to the editor. So anyway, it's 7:33. We probably should roll out on this podcast.
Yeah,
Plus, we're like 53 minutes in, 54 now. So
I have a confession.
What?
I'm not a lawyer.
What?
And on that bombshell.
All right. Well, thanks. This has been Plain Donuts, the live edition.
Thank you to our lovely live audience.
I know you guys have been great. Yay!
Applause for yourself.
Hooray! Okay. Bye.